Good morning. This is Pastor Brian. Thank you for joining me as we read a chapter a day from Job. Today, chapter 34, Elihu continues his speech. I will be reading from the Common English Bible. Feel free to read along in whatever version you like the most. Elihu continued, "Hear my words, wise ones. Knowledgeable ones, listen to me, for the ear tests words like the palate tastes food. Let's choose for us what's right. Let's determine among ourselves what's good. For Job has said, I'm innocent. God has denied my just cause. Because of my cause, I'm thought a liar. My wound from an arrow is incurable, even though I didn't rebel. Who is a man like Job? He drinks mockery like water and travels a path with wrongdoers, walking with evil persons. Indeed, he said, no one is rewarded for delighting in God. Therefore, intelligent ones, hear me. Far be it from God to do evil and the Almighty to sin. For he repays people based on what they do, paying back everyone according to their ways. Surely God doesn't act wickedly. The Almighty doesn't distort justice. Who placed earth in its care, and who gave him dominion over the entire world? If he were to decide to do it, to gather his spirit and breath back to himself, all flesh would die together and humans would return to dust. But if you have understanding, hear this. Pay attention to the sound of my words. Will one who hates justice rule? Will you condemn the most righteous one? Will you say to a king, worthless, to royalty, evil? Who shows no favor to princes, nor regards the rich over the poor, for they are all the work of God's hands. In the middle of the night, they surely die. People are shaken and pass away. The mighty are removed, not by a human hand. God's eyes are on human ways, and he sees all their steps. There's no darkness, no deep darkness, where evildoers can hide themselves. Surely no time is set for a person to appear before God in judgment. He shatters the mighty without examining them, makes others take their place. Thus he regards their deeds, overturns them at night, and they are crushed. He strikes them because of their wickedness at a place where people can see it, because they turned from following him and didn't value all his ways. Causing the cry of the poor to reach him, he hears the cry of the afflicted. Still, if he remains quiet, who can condemn? If he hides his face, who can see him? He prevents a lawless person from ruling, from capturing people. Has Job said to God, I have borne punishment. I won't sin again? You teach me what I can't see. If I've sinned, I won't do it again. Will he repay you because you reject sin? For you choose, not I. Declare what you know. Smart people say to me, the wise who hear me. Job speaks without knowledge. His words aren't astute. I wish Job would be tested to the limit because he responds like evil people. He adds rebellion to his sin, mocks us openly, and adds his words against God. So what did you hear in today's chapter? Elihu defends God's work in the world, God's justice, the way in which God does things in the world. And he also then focuses on the claims that Job has made throughout his speeches and invites them to listen and to know that those arguments that Job had made in all those speeches aren't really valid. And that Job maybe even sometimes sounds just like the wicked people who say, but God, I haven't done anything wrong. And so he encourages Job to be tested to his limit because of that response, just like any other evil person would respond. That's in verse 36. And so Elihu seems to claim that no matter what Job has said, has all basically, as verse 37 says, mocks God, mocks everyone by saying that he hasn't done anything wrong. And so it's a little nuanced, but it seems to me like a similar argument that Job may think he's innocent, but clearly, if God has done something, God has done something for a reason and for a purpose. And so they need to all recognize that. And Job especially, obviously, needs to recognize and accept that he has done something wrong. Because he's even rejecting the fact that he could have possibly sinned. So what did you hear today? What stuck out to you? What is it that made you scratch your head, since Job does seem to be a very difficult text for many of us? So write them down, share them with a friend, talk about it with a friend, and see if they have some insight. Thank you for joining me today. Stay safe, stay well, and God bless you all.